Guys, Auburn Daily reporting live outside of Neville Arena with Andrew Stefaniak in person, a little bit different setting beforehand. And as you see behind us right here, it's known by many names: Jungle City, Pearlville.
The best place in the continental United States.
Hundreds, if not 1,000 plus students camping out. To our right over here, there's a massive tailgate trailer cooking food for the students. There's a giant screen over here. They had Mario Kart tournaments going. They're now watching the Auburn gymnastics game. Folks are playing basketball, all sorts of different games between Uno, Monopoly, Catan.
I think these
poker.
Guys right here are doing homework too, so we got some of that going on too.
So there's a lot of controversy out here saying people were not doing homework, studying. Seen lots of people study. Kids have been taking shift for class. So we're beating that narrative right now.
Yes, we are.
That is not happening. Academics, kids can have fun and not drop academics as well. They're doing both because this is Auburn. This is how they roll. But we're here because we are now. What are we, 17 or so, 18 hours away from tip-off of the Auburn versus Kentucky game. Huge crowd here. This might be one of the biggest, most hyped crowds before a basketball game ever. I do want to clarify one thing. This has absolutely nothing to do with Kentucky. This has everything to do with Auburn. This is just how it is here, and this is a testament to the culture that Bruce Pearl has built here.
Yes, and let me speak on it, because, ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to remember that I cover Kentucky as well, and I am from Lexington. I grew up an Auburn fan. I haven't been down in Auburn as much as I would like to be in my lifetime, but I can tell you this: having grown up in Lexington, been to multiple different SEC venues, and then seeing Pearlville live in person, this, ladies and gentlemen, is what makes college athletics special. This is what makes Auburn special, and this is what makes Auburn, I think, my favorite place to be in the world. It used to be Nashville. Auburn is now taking that step by a mile. So, Auburn fans, I think this is just a moment to remember, and we're going to break down this basketball game, of course, but this place is special, and you should be proud that you're an Auburn fan from Auburn. Like I said, I didn't go to Auburn because I played baseball in school and decisions that way, but you should be proud of this place and proud that you win here. So let's break down this game, right?
Yeah, so we're going to do a quick game preview, but before we do that, we do need to mention, I'm not short, he's just 6'6".
Yes.
So I know I'm looking at myself on the camera here and be like, wow, this is brutal. He's just really tall, and you can't tell that on the webcam at home, but like I said, we're live, so we're getting a different vantage point here. But yeah, we're going to preview this game. Andrew does work with
Wildcats Today.
So also Auburn Daily. So there's probably really no better person to talk about this game that has a good perspective of both sides. So let's just jump right into this from a game standpoint. Andrew, what do you think? I believe the spread is somewhere around 7.5 points in Auburn's favor, correct?
I'll be honest, I haven't seen the spread, but I believe it. That's where I figured it would be. That's where I guessed it would be. About 7 points, 7.5, 8.5, 6.5, in that range. So I believe you.
Now, there have been some injuries with Kentucky. So let's go ahead and say what their roster is going to be looking like, what they do have, what they don't have, and how that's going to match up against Auburn.
So Trey Mitchell is a 4-stretch 5, and so ironically, Kentucky has been banged up all season long. They played Ole Miss on Tuesday. Alan Flanagan was in Lexington, and this Kentucky team was healthy for the first time the entire season. And midway through the second half, Trey Mitchell, veteran, real leader on this team, grabs his shoulder and heads to the bench, quickly heads from the bench to the locker room, not to be seen again after that. And ladies and gentlemen, it sounds like he's not going to be out there against Auburn tomorrow. Now, things can change, you never know, but as of right now, I don't anticipate seeing Trey Mitchell out on the court tomorrow. And he's that type of guy. Chris Beard, Ole Miss head coach, said this himself. He said he is one of the best players in college basketball, word for word. That's a quote. He said that he's not the type of guy to impact a game with maybe a ton of stats, a ton of rebounds, a ton of points. He's the type of guy who impacts a game with other variables. He's a good basketball player, and it sounds like Kentucky is going to be without him tomorrow, and that's a starter. So it's now listen, Kentucky's been struggled all year with injuries. It sounds like Mitchell will be the only player not in the lineup, which for Kentucky is a positive, knowing they've had 2-3 guys out all year long. But Mitchell's a big piece to not have in this game in Neville Arena, which is the hardest place to play in all of college basketball.
Now, Big Z.
Yes.
He'll be playing tomorrow, correct?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, he will suit up, but he will. I don't think he'll play any minutes.
So why is that? Because there's a lot of hype for Big Z coming into this game.
And I'll tell you this,
I guess coming into the season.
As someone who covers this team, I mean, Big Z, those who watched him play against Georgia in Rupp Arena when he made his debut, he looks like a Kristaps Porzingis-esque player.
Yes.
And Cal won't give him any minutes. It doesn't make any sort of sense to me. But Big Z, I mean, you didn't see him on Tuesday against Ole Miss. I don't expect now. To be fair, Trey Mitchell was in the lineup for a good portion of that game. Will Trey Mitchell be in the lineup against Auburn? It looks like that's a no. So will we see Big Z if Mitchell is out? Perhaps. But with Mitchell in the lineup, there was no Big Z. The big guys to pay attention to are Uganda Onyenso, who blocked 10 shots against Ole Miss on Tuesday, and Aaron Bradshaw, 5-star freshman. He was a top 5 player in the class. Hasn't really panned out to expectations, but those are the big guys you can expect with Adu Thiero, a guy who was on the team last year when Auburn went to Rupp Arena, back on the team again, taking up a bigger role. But Big Z's a great basketball player, and I can't give you a reason as to why he's not on.
We don't have Cal here. We could interview Coach Cal, tell us.
Yes, we're gonna. Let's go get him.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just kidding.
We'll be right back. We're gonna go get Cal.
Yes.
And bring him here to answer that question.
But Coach Cal has not played Big Z. It's frustrated Kentucky fans. And listen, I don't know if I expect to see him tomorrow or not. But if you don't, I think with Trey Mitchell not on the floor, assuming he doesn't play, it's going to frustrate Kentucky Wildcat fans.
Now, let's talk about matchups, okay?
Okay.
So, what matchup do you think Kentucky has the best advantage of over Auburn, and the matchup that Kentucky is going to struggle with that Auburn has over them, in your opinion?
So, Alex, I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
Want to know what's so great about doing this live?
Yes.
I can do visuals.
Yes.
I can do visuals. We'll get there in a minute.
Okay.
So, Rob Dillingham is a name to remember. He's a Kentucky guard. Incredible basketball player. I've predicted, I've written this at Wildcats today, I think he will be the Rookie of the Year in the NBA next year. He's that good. He's an NBA type of player. So, can Trey and KD and Aiden and Denver guard him? Listen, Denver plays great defense. A lot of these guards work hard on the defensive end. It's why Auburn is such a good defensive team when it comes to the KenPom rankings. But and what's ironic about Rob Dillingham, he comes off the bench.
Okay, that's
He
scary.
comes off the bench.
What's he been averaging in points per game?
I believe it's about 14 off the bench.
Okay.
So that is the disadvantage. I think that if Rob comes in when Trey goes out, and we're looking at like Aiden versus Rob, I think you could see Rob Dillingham score points on Aiden Holloway. But this is the biggest advantage for Auburn. Come here, come right here. I'm gonna show you this.
Okay.
So but get behind me. I'm the big man. Right. Okay, so Janai Broome, in my opinion, has the quickest shoulders of a big man in the SEC. Kentucky can't guard down low. So what Broome's gonna do, as we've seen all year long, he's gonna go here, he's gonna go here, he's gonna go here, and then he's gonna go here. He's so quick. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll swap sides.
But we'll swap sides. But he's so quick with his shoulders. I think Broome's gonna have a massive game, and Jalen as well. Listen, I mean, Jalen is quick. Jalen, that little floater he has around the rim, Jalen can score. So I think you're gonna see Auburn's big men score a substantial amount of points against Kentucky. And I'll tell you this. While I predict Auburn to win this basketball game, if Kentucky, which is one of they're ranked like 104 in defense on KenPom, if they find a way to slow Jalen and Janai, I don't know how Auburn wins this game. So that's where they're going to win it.
So you're saying the matchup is going to be with the guards is going to be Kentucky,
and then the big men, it's Auburn with Janai and Jalen over their big men, especially with Trey Mitchell not in the lineup, assuming he does not play.
Which, considering what Janai and Jalen have both done at home the past 2 games, I can't even 100+ points combined in those. I mean, it's insane.
They had 50 against Well, they're the Splash Bros now, right?
Yeah.
They're the
So
Splash
we
Bros.
haven't even mentioned against South Carolina. We hadn't had episodes since then because I've been down here since Wednesday.
Yeah.
We hadn't had a chance to record.
Yeah.
And we knew we were doing it in person, so we want to surprise everybody with a new setting. But they went 9 of 12 combined for 3 against South Carolina.
Yeah.
Just we can't fail to mention, beat them by 40. That momentum, I mean, this will be hyped up anyway. But you cannot deny the fact that you beat the number 11 team in the nation at home by 40 points. Largest ranked victory in Auburn history.
Yeah. And
against a ranked opponent.
And I'll add this. I was a believer, I don't know where you stood on this, I think South Carolina was a tad bit overrated. I kind of called Auburn to blow the doors off them.
Let's rewind. On our episode, did we not say, shout out to us, receipts, that this was going to be a really bad matchup for South Carolina? Yeah. South Carolina had a rather really good strengths, but they did not complement well with how Auburn.
And what did you say? You said if Auburn gets a lead,
it's over.
Exactly what Auburn
and Auburn
did.
Got that push.
Never looked behind.
And they just built it because the way that they play, South Carolina would not behoove well, and that's just what Auburn does at home.
Yeah.
Now South Carolina got like in the first 2 minutes maybe a little bit of a lead, but once Auburn got back to it, it was game over for them.
Yeah.
And let's be honest here. This game in Kentucky in Rupp, were you at the game in Rupp last year?
I was not. I was somewhere very upset. I don't remember where. I think it was at my grandparents' house, but that's beside the point.
Well, that was good that you missed that game because that was a brutal game for Auburn. So is this a revenge game for this team? You got to think so. Now the coaches aren't going to coach it that way, but can we maybe just assume, they played one of their worst games of the season in Rupp. Auburn is going to want to come back after this one, and they're going to want to. Yeah, we gotta get framed a little bit.
Let's get framed.
They're gonna want to get one back on Kentucky.
Yes, they are.
So this is gonna be their chance to do it. And honestly, with the way they've been playing at home, I mean, at the spread being 7.5 points, I mean, I think a lot of people feel like if Auburn's gonna win, as it has been on pace to do, it's probably a double-digit win.
Yeah.
And that's just because they've been doing that to everybody at home.
Exactly.
Now, are we talking 10 or 11? Are we talking high teens or 20 plus? I don't know. Do you think, well, I'll just ask you this from a Kentucky standpoint, do you think they have the chance to beat Kentucky if all just goes horribly for Kentucky? What do you think the most points Auburn will win?
So you're saying for Kentucky,
nothing goes their way, everything goes Auburn's way.
I'll tell you this right now. Like I said, I've been at every Kentucky home game this year. I've covered this team like glue on a fly trap, ladies and gentlemen. And if Kentucky does not play well, Auburn will win this game by 20 points. Okay. I still believe if Kentucky plays well and Auburn plays well, Auburn wins this game by 10 points. If Kentucky plays really well and Auburn plays bad, that's where I think Kentucky wins. And listen, Kentucky's offense in KenPom is number 7, I believe. Their offense, they score a lot.
But they've been struggling with defense all season.
No,
that was pretty early on.
Defend.
People kind of figure that out. Hey, this is a team that just cannot do it on defense. And we talked about that last November.
So if the shots don't fall for Kentucky, they won't beat anybody. They won't beat anybody. If the shots do fall, they can beat anybody. But the way Auburn plays defense, if they continue to defend at a high level and score, Auburn will win this game. If Auburn goes out, what happened against Florida? Auburn kept shooting threes, kept shooting them. Which, listen, Auburn was shooting good looks, but they weren't going down. Hey, let's get it to Janai. Let's get it to Jalen. I know Jalen struggled against Florida. But the point here is, Auburn, if they're not falling from 3 early, get the ball down low. Nobody on Kentucky's roster can stop Jalen or Janai from scoring around the rim. You have to know that going into the game. Bruce knows that going into this game. You have to find a way to score there. And if the threes are falling, then this game, I expect Kentucky fans to click the power off button on the TV very early into this game.
So, that's a great segue here. We're going to do a quick show sponsor shout out.
Yeah.
Kentucky fans after this game, what we're hoping for, might need to go visit, and they can make the drive to Opelika Room, correct?
Of course. Well, I mean, I made the drive here, but yeah, Kentucky fans here, you can make the drive, and it's worth it.
Or you go to Birmingham region.
Birmingham's a little closer. Go to Birmingham.
Shout out to them for sponsoring the show. You still will get the Auburn daily discounts. If you just mentioned you heard about it on the show. Whether you're an Auburn fan or Kentucky fan or just anybody, say, hey, you know what? I heard that you'll give us some free stuff if we mention it. Do it. Go book a session. OpelikaRageRoom.com or BirminghamRageRoom.com, whichever is closer, wherever you're listening, would be in the Auburn Opelika area or up toward the Birmingham area. They will take care of you. And then our second sponsor of the show, Plains Coffee. It's going to be a late night for us.
Yes, it is.
And what I do not have and what I need and long for would be some Plains Coffee. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to go and order some Plains Coffee with the discount code Auburn at checkout and get 10% off and free shipping.
Yeah.
Free shipping for everything, but not 10% off.
We need
Code
coffee.
Auburn.
We don't have it, but you know where to go get it thanks to Plains Coffee. Go get it. It's the best coffee you can get. They have teas as well. For those of you that aren't coffee drinkers, there's people out there, they've got teas, but Plains Coffee, it's the best place to get your freshly ground coffee. I highly recommend it, as does Alex. Go check them out. Use that discount code.
Auburn.
Promise you, Auburn, 10% off, save you some money for the best coffee around you can get.
So let's get back here to this game. I want to ask you a question about Kentucky, because this is going to be a big one.
Yeah.
What is Kentucky's best win of the season and their worst loss? Put you on the spot.
It's tough because it's an opinion-based question. So, to me, and those who don't follow Kentucky might go, well, why do you say that, Andrew? The best win of the year, in my opinion, there's two. It's Arkansas in Fayetteville and Ole Miss in Rupp Arena, which happened on Tuesday. The Ole Miss game, you held Ole Miss to 63 points. I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Okay.
Ole Miss has scored less than 63 points one time. Do you have any idea when that was?
Is it against Auburn?
It was in Neville Arena where they scored 59 against Auburn.
What's that? I thought it was against Auburn.
So,
shout out to Auburn.
yes, shout out to Auburn. I choose every opportunity to dunk when I can.
Yeah.
So, you know, that was for Kentucky, who hasn't defended anything all year, holding an Ole Miss team that can score the basketball.
Now, how did Flanagan do against Kentucky? Do you remember that?
10 points.
Okay, 10 points. Sorry.
And not a great night, not a bad. I mean, he didn't shoot the ball a lot though. But so. It was good to see him. It was crazy walking past him, you know, rooting for him for all these years, going, oh, there's Flanagan. But, so, you know, I think that win for Kentucky over Ole Miss, I think it, and I'll be honest with you, I think Kentucky's coming into this game with a little bit of confidence because they did. Now, was their defense great against Ole Miss? No, not by any means. But the way Kentucky scores the basketball, if their defense is just okay, they can beat a lot of teams. So I think that was a confidence win for the Wildcats. But, and then their worst loss of the season, you know, you can argue is at South Carolina, but I'll tell you what it was. It was Florida in Rupp Arena. It was Tuesday or Wednesday the week before.
Because 3 games in a row in Rupp now, right? That they've lost.
They lost. Now they won. They won against Ole Miss to snap it, but Kentucky lost 3 games in a row in Rupp Arena. That has never happened. I mean, you know, as Auburn fans, Kentucky does have a historic basketball program. That is a fact. Losing like that for them is embarrassing. You know what I mean? It is. I mean, at home,
yeah.
Kentucky basketball is not supposed to lose at home. And I mean, UNC Wilmington beat them in Rupp Arena this year.
I think Auburn's home win streak now is in the 40s, I believe.
Exactly, because, and once again, not a plug to these folks, but because of this. I mean, this is special, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll get back into that in a minute. But I think the point here, the worst loss for me is the Florida loss. I'm telling you why. Kentucky.
I kind of feel the same.
Kentucky. All right, we're gonna demonstrate one more thing. All right,
all right, go.
All right, I'm gonna shoot. You defend it.
Okay.
All right, when I'm gonna shoot it, you gotta jump. Okay.
Okay. All right. Oh, I jumped way too early.
Yeah. Okay. A shot fake. Kentucky bit at every single shot fake Florida made all night long. Auburn fans that watched the Florida game, Carter, I forget his first name, Carter Jr. played a good game, Zion Pullen, great guards. That's how they live and die. They live and die by the shot fake. Kentucky bit every single time. If you're Auburn, take advantage of that. Watch the tape. Say, okay, they bite at shot fakes because players like Reed Shepherd, a great guard off the bench, Rob Dillingham, they want to try and block a shot. So they're going to bite at those shot fakes. If you do those shot fakes, they'll bite. And if your defender bites on a shot fake, you have a wide open 3.
And that's a chance for, I think, CBM,
Yeah.
KD, and Aiden to just go, and maybe even Trey too. I think those four could really take advantage of that. In all honesty, I hope teams have been giving Jalen, and especially Janai, these wide open 3 looks. So if they're just going to let him shoot it, Janai before,
with the confidence they have, keep taking them.
Yeah, before South Carolina, I want to say he was in the mid-30s. Janai.
He's at 38 now.
Yeah, I mean, after that game, he's got to be, which is crazy for a big. I mean, I can't tell you the last time we've had a big that shot as much as he had.
That's like a back to the basket big. Like Janai Broome is a back to the basket big who is shooting 38% from 3.
Yeah, and that's huge. And also too, shout out Janai, his free throw shooting, which PTSD from the Houston game. Payne, he has gotten his free throws right. And Auburn.
I want to say something about free throw shooting. And I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it's so important. I meant to write an article about this at Auburn Daily this week, and I will. Whose free throw shooting has gotten better than Janai's? I'm serious about this. This is very serious.
At Auburn?
Yeah.
KD?
No. Well, maybe.
Okay.
Dylan Cardwell, and he might be here tonight. Knowing him, he might be here tonight.
He was here earlier. There's Dylan spottings everywhere.
Yeah.
He's so
Dylan
tall,
Cardwell. So of course he's a fan favorite around here. Dylan he's shooting almost 68%. He couldn't make one to save his life last year. He's changed his form and he has fixed it. And he was 4 for 4 from the line against South Carolina. It's a huge deal. The fact that he's been able to make these free throws has made Auburn better. So yes, Janai's gotten better, and you're right, and that's huge. But Dylan making free throws has really helped this team. And have you seen him shoot them? It's weird. I mean, he throws. Yeah. I don't care how you make them. Whether you're Shaq doing the underhand, I don't care how you make them. Make them. And Dylan's gone from a player that I used to tell my dad, I was like, Dad, if Dylan makes one, I'll give you $1. To Dylan making one is frustrating because he's been making 2 all year. So I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I mean, really, he needs to be commended for how well Dylan has done shooting free throws this year. So good for the fan favorite to really fix that aspect.
And that aspect has helped. Because, I mean, that's something in years past, I mean, Auburn has struggled with from 3-point shots. And you can go look back at box scores of certain games and say, wow, if they just made these frees, I mean, you could say argue threes as well. That's the difference between a game, or at least putting you a chance to go to overtime or whatever. So, huge shout out to them. Huge game tomorrow. Just sort of step away from the camera a little bit so everybody can see this.
Pick it up and show them. Pick it up. Come on, pick it up and show
everybody. We're gonna pan. We're gonna pan the camera real quick, guys. So, for everybody that's still listening, panning the camera. And that right there is what we're dealing with, guys. Yeah. And that's just a small bit of it. These tents are going on all the way around here. Tons of them. People, it's so hyped here. They're excited. This is probably going to be one of the best home crowds. I'm not even going to say for the season. I'm going to say possibly of all time. Just the other camera.
Yeah, I agree with you. So, I mean, I want to say, thank you for welcoming me, Auburn. Of course, I'm an Auburn fan my whole life, but this place is truly just special. I love this place, and I know you know it, Alex. I mean, you went here. I love this place so much. It's so special here. The people are amazing. The atmosphere is amazing. Auburn, keep being great. Keep being great, and let's get a big win tomorrow over Kentucky.
And last thing I do want to say here, for everybody that helped donate to the Feed the Jungle and Beat Cancer charity event, cannot thank you guys enough. As of a recording right now, we're over $9,000. We got the tailgate over here. We've already fed hundreds of students one meal. We got multiple meals left to feed them. They have been super thankful. So for everybody out there, I cannot tell you how many students I've just heard say thank you for that. And then obviously we have a lot of money left over that's going to be given to Outlive, probably $6,000-7,000 plus. Don't even need to go into detail of just how important that is. And for everybody out there who is struggling or has a family member or loved one that's struggling or even lost a battle to cancer, this type of thing is what helps the next person get the research and the treatments that can turn a statistically low chance higher. And that's really what this is all about. So, guys, thank you so much. There's a ton of Outlive stuff going on, so I encourage you guys all to check that out, because Outlive Week, lots of money being raised there. So, yes, basketball is exciting. It's super fun. But at the end of the day, we're making an even bigger impact with that there. So that is going to conclude it. We will be back out here for more Auburn Daily content. We're going to be doing a segment here. Shout out, next video is going to be, I'm going to be living with these people. I'm going to be doing tours. We're going to talk to them. We're going to interview them.
It's going to be awesome.
Giveaways, trivia. We're going to do tours of tents. I'm going to be just part of the jungle for tonight.
Yeah.
And then if all things go well, we might just be right back here tomorrow doing a post-game show.
We're going to live here.
Yeah.
We're going to live here.
This is our new address. So
I'm not going back home. I'm going to live here forever. So somebody that listens to the show, I need a place to live forever. So thank you.
Y'all about Andrew, guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We'll be back at you. Big game tomorrow. Auburn Daily Show. We'll be with you soon. We are out.